the buzz of getting hit in the face or punching someone in the face is you're on edge all the time. Like it's just a great buzz to have.
He's never a big guy, so he did have that kind of. He always backed himself.
Knowing that my family, friends, sponsors truly believe in me, like it's a huge boost.
Twice in 2018, that's a big right hand from Ansell, and now working away to both body and head. Emotion, the fluid right uppercuts he was bringing through the middle, now a thing of the past, and Ansell on the onslaught.
He's got an exciting style, he hits very hard, he pleases the crowd, he's got a good fan base. Everything's there for him to become a champion.
I said to my dad, I was like, what if it never happened? What if I don't try? Like, I've got to try. Like, if it's something that gives me that much of a buzz and makes me that happy, then you've got to go for it.
Fighting at super lightweight with a professional record currently sitting at 5-0, Tom Ansell is an exciting up-and-coming boxer who is already beginning to make a name for himself in the boxing world, despite only becoming pro just 2 years ago. He is currently fighting under Goodwin Boxing and has fought under Haymaker Promotions, which has allowed him to make some big names in the sport and has inspired some strong ambitions of his own.
I think every boxer that starts boxing, you've got to be aiming towards being a world champion. Otherwise, what are you aiming for? Like you can aim for lower belts. Of course, I'm going to aim for them, but I need to pick up those on the way to being world champion. When I first started, all I wanted to do was win. I just wanted to win that first fight, and then I wanted to KO someone. Got that in the second fight, and then after that it was just about building experience and climbing the ladder to get some belts. So I had to do quite a lot of media work at David Hayes' gym, and he took over my social media, which was brilliant. And then I spoke to a couple of people, and they were like, I can't believe David Hayes has been on his social media, like former world champion. And like a massive name because around the world really. When I look through pictures and back on the fight and like him reaching out, like shaking my hand and I see him on the front row, it's like as soon as I drop the opponent, him stand up, clapping, like it's a great feeling to have because he must rate me. James DeCale was in the other day, so a former Olympic champion, world title holder, and you think, God, like, this is like the real deal. But when I'm in the gym training, all I do is watch them. Like, it sounds a bit weird, but I just watch them and learn. So it's good to watch to see how you rest in a fight and how you cope with different scenarios in sparring and boxing. Just by watching these guys who are on the border of being world champions or world title holders. Throughout my childhood, I think my mum and dad always made sure I was part of sport. So I was playing, I think on one Sunday, well for a couple of seasons, I was playing rugby in the morning, then playing football in the afternoon. So for them guys to just keep me in sport was brilliant.
He's always been a determined little boy, quite strong-willed. But also quite caring. Even at primary school, he was interested in sport and would help children who weren't necessarily that good at sport. He wanted to make sure they were involved.
Because we both played sport, especially rugby, so there's always like a brotherly kind of rivalry, always playing rugby or football in the garden. We used to box each other when mum and dad went out. Have a glove each, which is always good fun. Not that I would do it now, I suppose.
This was when you played for Hitchin as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, county tournament. Must be end of season.
Yeah, 2000. Oh, Minnie's Rugby Festival.
2004.
You must have some lecture photos.
Yeah,
how old were you when you played for lecture? About 12.
Yeah, 11 or 12.
It's never really bothered me that he's boxing. Seeing how seriously he takes it.
I don't like it. As a mum, I don't like it. But I have seen how determined and committed he is to it. And also what other people think about him. they obviously feel he's got a talent there and that he can progress. So he said that if he didn't try it, he would always wonder what could have been.
Tom continued with rugby throughout his teenage years and decided to get stronger for the sport by taking up boxing. However, due to his coach and close teammates leaving the club, Tom lost his passion for rugby and focused solely on boxing, but he believes his childhood sport taught him well for life inside the ring.
It teaches you respect straight away, because you've got to call the ref sir, and I'll carry that through into boxing, and because it comes a little bit of a habit. I could take a punch well, but I think that was down to rugby and playing from a young age with adults, which are like late 20s, early 30s. I think for a 17-year-old to be tackling people who are like 18 stone so I think that's hardened me up a little bit.
I've known Tom for about 15 years. He turned up to the rugby club when we were about 10. Is this little munchkin, like a little short, chubby guy, wanting to play in the backs, and everyone was just like, mate, you're not a back. But turned out to be a half decent player.
I think my brother put him on to me. I opened up the pub about 6 years ago, and my youngest brother just I've got a guy down at the club, needs a job. Can you sort him out? Can you get him a job? And then he started here about 6 years ago and grew to be quite good mates.
As a mate growing up, always life and soul of the party, always looking for a joke, always looking just making people laugh, just a general good lad to be around.
Well, there's two Toms at the moment we've got now really. You've got an in-camp Tom and you've got an out-of-camp Tom. And in camp you don't really see him. He's so dedicated, he's training all the time from 5 o'clock in the morning. He lives it. 2-3 absolutely lives it. And then the Tom outside of the camp is, relax, beer, jokers, have fun, all that, that kind of stuff. Just back to kind of who Tom is.
The more fights he's been having, I've been getting less and less nervous because I know how prepared he is and I know what to expect. I know the determination that he's got and the amount of effort he puts in. He's absolutely, as I said earlier, all or nothing. He's 100% commitment. So I know that when it comes to fight night, I know that he's as prepared as he ever could be.
Liam, he when I'm going through training, he's always there if I feel a little bit down. The training camp is one of the hardest things ever. It's mentally challenging, emotionally challenging, physically challenging, and he gives me that little get up and go.
On the morning of his fight, I always send him this video clip about being brothers. So I just let him know that win, lose or draw, he's not letting anyone down,
But the good thing about Tom is he's never lost who he is. He's still that idiot, he's still that funny guy, which is good, it's good that he's kept his feet firmly on the ground. He's got a massive following.
Yeah.
He must bring 200 people plus to a fight. Massive following from Hertfordshire and from now Essex.
The way that he is, he can punch, so everyone wants to see him, and he's aggressive, he's a front foot, he always wants to put on a show for everyone. So that's why people want to go and watch him.
Tom progressed with boxing in the unlicensed world, and after winning a number of unlicensed fights, was offered the chance to appear on Frank Warren's Total Combat, a TV show which sees quicker knockouts and a higher reward. After the show, Tom had a number of meetings with Frank, but a pivotal moment threatened the future of his boxing career.
I was playing rugby at the time still, because I thought I'm not going to go professional here, I just want to have a meeting, probably about Total Combat. I broke my hand. Oh my god. So they were about to offer me a contract, broke my hand, and that was literally one of the worst things ever for me. Went to the hospital, NHS misdiagnosed me, and then I ended up having a operation which I should have had in the first 2 weeks, 6 months later, so my bone was pretty much dead. I went into a bit of, not depression or anything, but I was moody for quite a long time because I thought, what am I going to do now? Everything, all of a sudden I've set up this dream, got a contract offered to me, and then it's just been taken away. I was literally broken. I think Danielle, she helped me through that quite a bit because she was like, no one said that you can't box again. She was making sure as soon as I could get back in the gym, I was working hard, and she was just encouraging me, taking my mind off when I was actually injured and couldn't go to the gym, taking my mind off it. It was devastating, but luckily family and Danielle helped me through that quite a bit. If the only people I really care about is Danielle, family, Liam and Phil, and obviously my little boy. But my little boy, like, he's wicked. He supports me for everything. He reckons I'm going to be world champion. So. I can't lose. Imagine me going up to Nathan and saying, "Oh, I lost at the weekend." It's just not there. I want to be. I don't feel at the moment he's got lots of role models in his life, but I want to be his main role model, and I want him to be someone I want him to look up to me like properly. So I can't lose for that. I've got to get a belt for him.
Through the work of his first professional coach, Mark Masso, Tom counts himself very grateful to have his boxing career revived and is excited at what he's now working towards under current coach, Tony Peel.
Going from Mark to Tony Peel at Punch London is massive. Like, Tony's changed me as a boxer completely. Tony taught me how to be a boxer. He said, "Look, listen, you've got strength, you've got power. That's fine, I'm going to use that, but we're going to use it effectively." My first fight with him, which was on another Haymaker promotion, I was going against this guy called Fonz Alexander. So he's a well-known journeyman. He tests prospects like me coming up, and I just played with him. I knocked him down. He hadn't been knocked down. I think it was for the first time in something like 50 fights he's been knocked down. And then I was just staying away, just boxing him nicely. And then watching that fight back, I was thinking, God, how much I've changed.
Tom came from the unlicensed world, which kind of put me off a little bit. But once I saw him and trained with him, got to know him, he's got what it makes to win belts. The qualities are, he's a very, very determined man. Technically, he's very strong. He can box a little bit, and he's learning every day and every week. But the main thing is his mentality. His mentality, he will be successful. I've got no doubt. Practice that left hook. Go on.
Left hook. Alright, big cover.
Just throw it. Go on, throw it. Hit the left hook. Go on. Bang. Good. And again. Good. The gym here in Mill Hill is buzzing now. We've got a lot of boxers and at all different levels. So for someone like Tom, or any of the guys that are kind of 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, they're looking at Frank, and they're looking at Derek Chisora, they're looking at Mal Shinkwin. These are guys that have been there, done it, and they're succeeding. And to train alongside them, and to mix with them, take tips off them, and just rub shoulder to shoulder with them, it gives, it's invaluable. They watch these guys and I can do this. I can do it. It's not a million miles away. I can do what they're doing. Wow, good shot. But faster. Wow, good. Wow, good. Now throw the body and head like we did in the ring. Wow, good. Keep balance. And again. Yeah. Keep your foot in position. Set him up. Bam, bam. Good. Much better. Wow. Good. Good time. That's it, come across him, side step across him, side step, that's it. Good, that's better. Good, nice movement, mate, very good. What's Tom's potential? I think he can go and fight for a Southern Area title. I think that's a given. It all depends on if the progression keeps going the way it's going at the moment, with the same time scale. I think he could go beyond that. But let's see. I think the first step is getting ready for 8-10 rounds of boxing and getting for a Southern Area So, and then after that, it's kind of let's see. Let's sit down and let's judge it again. Then, at the moment, I'm excited. Like, I think he's got the attributes to do something maybe special. Do you mean? Like I said at the beginning, it's his application. Like, he just wants to achieve. Like, he will do everything. He's a true athlete.
You know what? Before I walk out, I'm proper nervous. Like I'm shaking and everything. But as soon as my music comes on, I change straight away. I come out singing my music. As soon as I hear that, it's literally I'm just channeled. I'm just enjoying the moment, because like I said, I thought I had all this taken away from me when I was injured. But as soon as I walk out, just enjoy the moment. And then when I see him, you're in trouble, mate. I was getting the KO on my first Haymaker show. I thought I was losing that fight, to be honest. Then I remember hitting, and then you hear the crowd all of a sudden. It's like they all, kind of like suddenly goes quiet, and then it's like they're all like a pack of wolves, literally straight on you, like screaming and that. But then I hit him with an overhand right, and I remember looking at him, and he's kind of like, he's gone stiff, and like, I've got to, like, this is my time. Like, if you think you're losing at the time, and not because he was hurting me, because he was landing so many punches, and he's quite a taller guy, I thought, I've got to go for it now. So I saw him stumble back, and I just threw everything at him. And then knocked him to the floor, and then the referee said he slipped, and I was like, absolutely no way. So I thought, I've got to go out again. Got to hit him with a few, and the referee said he slipped again. I remember I turned to Mark, who was in my corner. I was like, what exactly in it? And then Mark was like, just calm down, hands up, go for it. And then I caught him with an uppercut and another overhand right, and he stumbled back to the ropes. I just unloaded. I didn't think about defence. I was swinging, and then the referee would jump in. Looked in, I was like, I walked over the mark. I kind of like, actually no, I don't even think I walked over the mark. I think, you know, that McGregor walk where after he wins, I think I remember doing that. Not to be like big-headed or anything, but that's just how you feel. I took my gunshot out, and I remember just shouting out to the crowd, like, come on. I was just so excited to get the professional, get a KO on my record.
I think he's got great people around him, his management company, he's got great family around him, he's got great mates around him. If he wants it, you know, he wants to continue like this and become a 15-0 and start getting championship fights. The only person, he's a fighter that's on his way.
He's fearless, like he knows what he wants, and he could chop his arm off, and I swear to God, I think he would somehow come back. He wants it really, really badly.
When I see the fight that I did go and watch, it was just amazing. The Ansell, it's called, isn't it? He's, you know, people that were just saying such fantastic things about him and how well he's doing, from his clients to school mates to uni people, family and everything, and that I'm really, really proud of.
I want to get all the belts. I don't want to lose. And I want to win all the belts outright. So that's my long-term goal. I want to get Southern Era, English, British, Commonwealth, European, and world. And it is hard for me because I haven't had as much experience of people going into Olympics. But I don't think people going into Olympics are as mentally strong as what I am. So I think that gives me the edge, and that drives me on to the long-term goal, being world champion, unified world champion, and retiring undefeated. Just want to say a massive thank you to all my sponsors.